chapter 6. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Christ, let us go on.
Hey, welcome back here to the Semi-Seminarian. On Sundays, we like to do an episode we call Theology in Three Chords, a late-night revival where the gospel shows up in barrooms, back roads, and ballads. If you're tuning in with the hum of a dashboard speaker or the quiet of an empty kitchen, this one is going to be for you. This one's not your grandma's Sunday school, but it might be your grandpa's AM radio theology crackling through the dark with a little bit of dust and a whole lot of grace. Before we dive in, if this kind of storytelling hits home, if it helps you breathe a little easier, think a little deeper, hey, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave us a review, share the episode with someone who needs a gentle word and a strong song. It helps more than you know, and it keeps this little revival tent on the road. Now, tonight's song. Cody Canada is no stranger to red dirt confessionals. He's the kind of songwriter who doesn't flinch when he tells you the truth, but he also doesn't shove it down your throat. And this song, Easy, well, it ain't gospel music, but it might be the good news. Doesn't offer answers, doesn't try to clean you up. It just pulls up a chair beside your mess and says, yeah, me too. This one's for the weary who want to believe but can't bear one more altar call that sounds like a sales pitch. For folks worn thin by institutions that demand loyalty but withhold compassion. For the backslider who never stop believing, just stop pretending. And the preacher who ain't looking for a ladder to climb but a porch to build. Welcome home. Easy ain't trying to fix anything. It just lays down everything on the table and says, here it is. It's not Sunday morning clean. It's Tuesday afternoon tired. Smells more like the break room at a mechanic shop than a cathedral, but if you listen close, you might just hear something sacred whispering through the dust. Let's walk through it together, and I'll see you on the other side. So, in typical Cody fashion, he comes out swinging. Ever now and then, it gets to me. Baby, it's religion, the moaning and the bitching. The lying and stealing and the cheating politicians coming right at me through the satellite feed. You ever get so tired that your bones buzz? That's where this song opens, not with a hook, but with a sigh. And the first thing to come out, not traffic, not bills, not backache, religion. But not the kind with potlucks and hymnals, the kind that sounds like static, loud, angry, always asking for something. The kind that promises heaven but delivers shame. The kind where everybody's got the right answer and nobody's got time to listen. The kind that leaves you feeling lonelier after the sermon than before it. And you know what I'm talking about. Channel flipping, fear slinging, power-grabbing form of religion that leaves you wondering if God's even paying attention or if he's just quit answering calls from this zip code. And then politics. Same poison, different bottle. The talking heads, the noise, the churn, the so-called truth served with a smirk. They call it news, but it feels like a fire alarm that never stops. Everybody screaming, nobody helping. And Cody doesn't rant, he doesn't resolve, he just names it. He says it out loud, the weariness that builds up in the soul when the sacred becomes twisted. The leaders are lying, and the people with the loudest microphones don't seem to care about the folks they're shouting at. And then he whispers it. Make this day easy on me. It's not a prayer you'll find embroidered on a pillow. It's the kind you mutter to the ceiling fan and sitting there in your undershirt holding a cup of gas station coffee at 5:47 in the morning. It's not polished, it's not proper, but man, is it real. It's the kind of prayer that doesn't care if the theology is tight, as long as it helps you breathe. And then he says, I was taking my time down on Portland Street. The man he said had it rough wanted my stuff. Minimum wage wasn't nearly enough. Take my money, and both of my shoes. If it makes this day easy on you. Now the lens tilts from the static on the screen to the stranger on the sidewalk. It's one thing to be tired of the system. It's another to see the people that choose up. This verse doesn't scream justice. It just lives it quietly, unceremoniously. You're walking down the street, minding your own business, and here comes someone asking, not for your opinion, not for a verse of scripture, but for help. It might not be pretty, certainly is inconvenient, but it's real. And the easy move is to keep walking, but something in you says, maybe this guy just needs a break. There's no judgment in this lyric, no parsing of who deserves what, no asking of how he got there, just one tired man recognizing another and choosing mercy. That's the thing about grace. It doesn't require a resume. Sometimes it shows up in the form of a pair of shoes. Sometimes it comes in the form of a yes when you've got every single reason to say no. That line, if it makes this day easy on you, that's holy. Because it doesn't come from a place of pity. It comes from a place of solidarity. Maybe you've been there too. Maybe you've known what it feels like to need help and not know how to ask. And when someone gives it to you freely, that's church. Straight and honest, the good Lord above, bloody knuckles, and a woman to love. Say you'll do it when you say you'll do it. But it ain't ever gonna be free. But it can be easy. This chorus, it's not just the heart of the song, it's the creed of a certain kind of person, of a certain kind of life. Straight and honest. Man, that's the whole deal right there. You say what you mean. You show up when you're supposed to. You don't hide behind fine print or fake smiles. You do it right, even when it doesn't shine. And when Cody tips his hat to the good Lord above, it's not a Sunday morning roll call. It's a nod, a recognition, a truth too deep for a bumper sticker. A whisper that even if church folks got it twisted, there's still a God worth nodding to. One who sees the bloody knuckles, the holding on love, and says, you know what? That counts. And that line about bloody knuckles and a woman to love, it ain't romantic in a greeting card way. It's more like I'm still standing. I'm still fighting. And someone sees me. Someone still holds my name with tenderness, and that is sacred. Say you'll do it when you say you'll do it. That's covenant. That's character. That's what you hope your kids will say about you. It's the kind of theology you live, not preach. And then the thesis. It ain't ever going to be free, but it can be easy. That line hits like gospel, not because it's doctrine, but because it's true. It won't cost you nothing, but it might cost you everything. But it doesn't have to be bitter. It doesn't have to be lonely. It doesn't have to be full of fear and shame. It can be heavy, but light. Hard, but not cruel. Some things you just carry better when you carry them with love. What's better than one? It's better as two. Come on, take my hand. Got a plan. It's all laid out. What you're waiting on, man. Trust in me and I'll trust in you. Because easy is the easiest thing to do. And now it turns toward invitation. It's not a preacher's plea. It's a friend's nudge. What's better than one? Two. That's not theology. That's truck stop wisdom, and it's good. Take my hand, that's not an altar call, that's survival, that's community, that's saying I've been on the edge too, and I'm not letting you go over. There's a quiet courage in trust in me, and I'll trust in you. It's not naive. It's not utopian. It's vulnerable, which means it's real. Because somewhere in the dust and the diesel of this life, the soul still wants to believe that trust is possible. Someone might actually mean it when they say they'll be there. And that if you could stop bracing for impact, maybe you can start breathing again. And then comes the line that sounds so simple it breaks you. Easy is the easiest thing to do. But we make it so hard because we've been taught that only the hard stuff counts, that somehow grace must be earned, that love must be proven, that ease is weakness. And maybe, just maybe, the most radical thing you can do is stop fighting love. It can be easy. It can be easy. Song doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a benediction, like a lullaby for the tired parts of you. Like a cold rag across your forehead on a hard day. Like someone sitting next to you saying nothing but saying everything. It can be easy. Not painless, not perfect, but not cruel. It doesn't have to be all performance. It doesn't have to be all penance. It doesn't have to be walking on eggshells around a God you hope doesn't notice your mess. Because sometimes mercy is just in the showing up, letting yourself be seen, taking the shoes off your feet and handing them to someone who needs them more than you do. That's grace. No dogma required. Easy isn't a hymn, but it's holy. It tells the truth. It names the ache. It offers a little light without pretending the darkness ain't real. And it's not about escaping life. It's about living it with your eyes open and your hands open too. And maybe that's the most sacred thing we can do. Choose easy where we can. Choose grace when it's possible. Choose trust even if it scares us. Maybe the real altar is the moment you say, if it makes this day easier on you, take what you need. And maybe that's gospel enough for today. So maybe that's the good news in all of this. But the sacred doesn't always come wrapped in stained glass and choir robes. Sometimes it shows up with scuffed boots, sore shoulders, and a song like Cody Canada's Easy playing low in the background. A song that doesn't offer redemption as a bargain, just lays out like a warm plate and says, take what you need. If anything in this episode gave you a moment of peace, a flicker of hope, reminded you of someone you love, do me a favor. Share it, hit subscribe, leave a review. You don't have to write a novel. Just say, hey, this meant something to me. It helps keep the porch light on for the next traveler passing by. And if you're carrying something heavy tonight, grief, doubt, guilt, just plain exhaustion, I hope you'll remember this. It ain't ever going to be free, but it can be easy. It's not a shortcut. That's just a different way to walk down the road. This has been Theology in Three Chords, where the gospel sounds like a gravel road and hope still knows how to hum along. Thanks for pulling up a chair, and I will see you next time.
Hebrews chapter 6. Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Christ, let us go on